What is the story and setting for Assassin's Creed Shadows? Assassin's Creed Shadows is an upcoming action role-playing game developed by Ubisoft Quebec and published by Ubisoft. The game is the 14th major installment in the Assassin's Creed series and the successor to 2023's Assassin's Creed Mirage, as well as the first title to be included in the Assassin's Creed Infinity platform. Shadows is scheduled to release for PlayStation 5, Windows, Xbox Series X/S, macOS, and iPadOS on February 14, 2025. Assassin's Creed Shadows is, as AC fans have long been asking for, set in feudal Japan. The game takes place in the late Sengoku period during the Azuchi Momoyama era, although associate narrative director Brooke Davies says in the Who Are Naoe and Yasuke trailer below that Yasuke arrives in 1579, right when our game starts. Ubisoft explains that the late Sengoku period was full of foundational, pivotal events, with three major figures acquiring power during an extensive warring states period. Social reforms reshaped and reorganized the land. Farmers and religious leagues rose up to oppose powerful military clan warlords, and an artistic renaissance began that would later bloom during the Edo period. Yasuke and Naoe are Assassin's Creed Shadows' two protagonists. The two are presented as full of opposites and contrasts to give us two very different experiences. A report last year suggested that Yasuke was based on a real-life samurai, making him the franchise's first historical assassin, and this has turned out to be the case. Yasuke is described as the powerful African samurai of historical legend who comes to Japan and is quickly involved with many notable figures of the time. Benoit says in the same trailer that Yasuke's status as a newcomer discovering Japan will help the player learn alongside him, while that historical note from Ubisoft tells us a few facts about the historical figure himself. Of African origin, he arrived in Japan enslaved by the Portuguese. He impressed with size, strength, and wits. He served under the Japanese daimyo Oda Nobunaga. Naoe, on the other hand, is a Shinobi assassin from the Iga Province. Last year's report again proves correct in that Naoe is the daughter of another real-life person, the legendary Igan Shinobi historical figure, Fujibayashi Nagato, who appears as her father. This is how Naoe comes to have parkour, stealth, and assassination skills, as well as the values of valor, benevolence, and wisdom. Interestingly, these two apparently become allies even though they start out on opposite sides. Oda Nobunaga is shown as attacking Naoe's home, and Yasuke is in his service at the time. Ubisoft tells us that Nobunaga comes to Iga Province for the Second Tensho Iga War, where Naoe's father leads the defense. The pair provide the player with opposing perspectives on Nobunaga and the means he used to achieve his goal of unification, and their overlapping perspectives throughout Shadows ultimately allow for a more nuanced look at the late Sengoku period. The choice for two protagonists was, according to game director Charles Benoit, to fit into both fantasies for the player. We wanted to have the Shinobi fantasy for sure, since it's the best fit for an Assassin's Creed. The Shinobis were the representation of stealth by spying and assassination, so it was a great natural fit. But at the same time, the samurai is the feudal Japan iconic fantasy, and we wanted to be able to have it as an experience for players. One character, Benoit says, wouldn't accurately fulfill the samurai and the shinobi fantasies, since they are coming from very different places in terms of the way to live, social classes, and role in the Japanese society. So, we decided to have two characters and uncompromised fantasies. Also, it was perfect to really dig into our brand pillars, stealth and combat.